Hopefully you can go ahead and get this.
Changing lanes at intersections.
All right, right here you've gotten some handouts. Okay, we're going to go through this handout before we get kicked off into Pro Trip. Now, this is information I've garnered from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, as well as some news articles from around the nation, as well as information directly from the American Trucking Association from the Large Truck Crash Causation Survey. Now, try to say that 3 times fast. All right. 28% of all crashes in the trucking industry are rear-end collisions. Now, what kind of statistics is that? Basically, every 4th time that you leave our terminal, you are at risk of a rear-end collision. Every 4th time. 28% of all crashes are rear-end collisions. Now, let's take a look here. Our hard braking, now if you remember looking in your driver's handbook, it says that there is a 0 tolerance on the hard braking. Does it not? Hard braking says. Now here's how our Qualcomm is configured. The Qualcomm in our trucks is configured at, you have 3 seconds, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. That it will drop 9 miles per hour per second for 3 consecutive seconds. Now let's take a look at what that does for you. At 60 miles an hour, John, on there, how far will your truck move? 88 feet. At 60 miles an hour, your truck will move 88 feet in 1 second. How long is your truck? Right around 75 feet to 80 feet. So basically 1 truck length per second. Now, when you step on that brake and you stand on it, and it drops. When it drops from that point, it's going to drop you 9 miles an hour. So just say 9 miles an hour. It's going to take you down to 51 miles an hour. At 51 miles an hour, your truck will move an additional 75 feet for the second. In the 3rd second, you will travel at 42 miles an hour, an additional 62 feet. Just in that 3 seconds, 225 feet. Almost the length of a football field. Now, stopping distance is different than this hard braking. Total stopping distance, because you got to break that on down. Once it's all said and done, it's going to be more than 600 feet just to bring that truck to a stop. 2 football fields. If someone pulls in front of you, just like in the video here, did they have 2 football fields? Okay. So let's go back to the next page. Next page is simple. This is a real-life claim against a company out of Missouri. Tractor trailer rear-ended a car with 4 women. All 4 women were killed when the car exploded in a fiery crash. After the years of going through the court system, from there, the one settlement was $35.25 million. And the other 3 women, their families settled for a total of $18 million, making the total for this claim $53,250,000. Now, what does that mean for a trucking company?
You're out of business.
Even a trucking company our size. Some trucking companies, they might have insurance rate or limitations of say $5 million per incident, $3 million, $4 million, whatever per incident. First thing you're going to do is the insurance is going to pay that out. Then what's the court going to do? They're going to order the company closed and they're going to start selling off their assets. Or the company will have to take loans in order to pay that off. Now, in this specific incident, this driver was charged with 4 counts of second-degree manslaughter. 4 counts of second-degree manslaughter. Now, he beat those charges, but he was found to be 60% at fault in the accident, which means all of his personal assets and everything were also liquidated. Pretty sobering, isn't it? It's not just the company that's at fault, because see, now the companies and the drivers, in many respects, are held separately, especially even with the CSA. Correct? The court can find you at fault and can find the company at fault. So when that happens, if you don't have enough extra $53 million to pony up, you just lost everything that you own and that you will ever own. Let's go to the next case. Now we all know this company here, big national company. This one, there were 2 people who died due to a rear end collision. Now let's take a look at the situation. This driver was in an icy, snowy highway environment. He had his cruise control set. A car had spun out on the freeway. Another car had stopped, had not impacted the car that spun out on the freeway. Does somebody smell? And the truck driver with his cruise control set plowed into the back of the guy that was sitting here that had not impacted another vehicle. Killed both. One guy died instantly at the scene, the other one died from severe injuries in the hospital. His widows, those 2 widows in the case, received $18.5 million. Again, the same type of scenario plays out. So this information that's going to be in this packet is on your Drive for Gold test as well. So let's go ahead back to the next page, page 4. Direct from the American Trucking Association. Let's go over the basic concepts of crashes. The basic concepts of crashes, you've got 9 out of 10 crashes. The primary fault or failure is in driver error. Why? Can anybody just give me something? William, Hampton, give me something. What would be one of the reasons why a driver might just 9 out of 10 have a crash?
Not paying attention, just in the
Driver distraction.
distraction.
Zoned out.
Zoned out. And
Fatigue. Okay, so going down through there, you got your backing crashes. Out of 89 crashes that were backing incidents where it resulted in a fatality, 87 of those were considered driver error. 87 out of 89 crashes were considered to be driver error. Move along forward in there. Now we got down over here, we got some statistics down here that show the difference between cars and trucks, and driving cars and trucks and crashes. So if you take a look down through here, vehicle-related failures, which means that there's something wrong with the vehicle itself. There's a problem with the car or the truck. 7% of those crashes, out of 330,000 crashes last year, 7% of that was due to problems with the truck. 4% with cars. Now what does that go back to? It goes back to your pre-trip inspections, making sure that your vehicle is safe for the road. Now let's go down here, following too closely to respond to an unexpected action, 8%. This is the highest number out of 330,000 crashes. The 330,000 crashes that resulted from this, 8% of those were because the driver was following too closely. What's that out at to be? About 28,000 of those crashes. That's a pretty significant number, isn't it? Now let's take a look at the same difference with cars, only 1%. All right. The other factors get out there is like oversteering, heart attacks, driver fatigue. Those. What I want you to focus on today is the following too closely with the trucks. This information is always good to have. Keep this with you. Now, if you go back to the last page here, out of all the ones that caught the crashes, where there were rear-end collisions, 27% was because the truck had bad brakes, 2% of the cars had bad brakes. Now, what does that mean? That goes back to your inspecting of the vehicle correctly. Pre-trip inspections. You make sure that your brake pads are where they're supposed to be, the right distance, the right thickness, and that you've even got brakes before you leave out, that your brakes are holding. Sometimes the brakes won't be holding on a trailer, and from there, you don't think it's that important. Well, it's because tractor can stop it. That's not true. 53,000 pounds will push that tractor right through an intersection. So, it goes back to us doing our jobs. Johnny, how many miles a year do car drivers usually drive? 15,000 maybe?
Yeah, 20, 15 probably.
Now, how many miles a year do we drive as drivers?
Over the road, probably over 100,000.
Over 100,000 miles. Who's the professional?
Will.
Who? Who?
We are.
We are. We're the professionals. We're supposed to be the professionals out there on the road. You can't always anticipate what somebody's going to do, but you can always be mindful to be watchful for what somebody else is going to do. All right, let's go ahead and go into the Pro Tread system here. Now, I'm going to just lean down here, so don't think I'm putting my back to you or anything like that, but because I've got to kneel down here so that you can see the screen up here. We're going to start this class. It takes about 35 minutes to do. Please interact when it asks questions, all right?